Hello, today I'm going to install the Milwaukee Pressurized CO2 system.
It's Milwaukee.
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 No, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Milwaukee.
Anyway, we'll be right back.
Milwaukee.
A long time ago I bought this Milwaukee CO2 regulator, and I haven't put it on the tank. Now, I tried CO2 just one other time and had a big problem, so I've been kind of scared, and especially scared to put a pressurized CO2 system in. And I even bought, the pH meter to go with it. I don't think I'm going to install it. From what I've heard, it's just kind of a waste of money. Well, I mean, they're good for a year, so maybe I could use it for a year, but I could also sell it brand new to somebody that maybe really wants it. So I'm going to think about that. I can always install it later. What I'll probably do is put this on a timer, and I do have a timer that's got two plugs into the same one, so I can correspond the CO2 and the lights to come on. So if you've got an opinion about that, especially guys that have done it in a long, long time, be sure to leave me a comment and just let me know what you think. I'd be happy to take your opinion. Alright, so I start by putting this part on. This is a control knob. Control the flow of air. And you just want to, it's important to remember not to tighten it down all the way, because it could damage the device. Alright, so now I've removed one of the O-rings, and you can see it's kind of, it's tapered on one end, and it's real flat on the other end. And I'm going to insert that right onto here. You see that snaps right on. And it's really easy to see how that fit goes. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is attach this to the CO2 cartridge. Now, handling pressurized cartridges like this is very dangerous. If this was to break, it would send this flying around the apartment. Probably seriously damage at least something, or possibly hurt someone really badly. So be very careful with these. If you can, tie them down. This is going under my cabinet, and I'll probably rig something just to kind of tie it from one, just kind of give it a little seat belt of some sort, but it'll be pretty safe under there, and that's normally where they go. But I've seen a lot of them just next to aquariums, and it's always good to tie these down so it doesn't get kicked over or knocked over by a pet or something like that. So let's go ahead and attach this. It says to put it on loosely, and then tighten it with a crescent wrench. Crescent wrench. That's not big enough. Oh.
Gonna need a bigger wrench.
No. Then we're gonna take a large crescent wrench. Make sure it's tight. It's important to use a crescent wrench on brass, because the pliers and things can leave marks. This does it very cleanly. This is my first one of these. I'm a little scared of high pressured systems, so I'm a little apprehensive about the entire project. That's okay, I'm sure it'll be fine. Wants me to do the bubble counter next. Here it screams. There we go. I'll need to fill this, or put a little bit of water, not full, but I think it's at halfway. Yeah, it's at halfway. A little bit more. That's too much. Where's Holly? There we go. It's just carbon. It's just carbon. It's okay. Alright, side note, this is meant to be closed all the way, which is counterclockwise before you fill this up with water. I don't think it was, and if it wasn't, I definitely opened it messing with this, so hopefully that doesn't cause a problem, but we'll see. Also, this should be turned, not removed, but turned until you feel no tension in it by turning it counterclockwise, like I am doing now. So now it's kind of loosey-goosey, so that should be okay. Now we release the pressure. Let's see what it does. Got some pressure there. I believe I'm supposed to unscrew this all the way, but I want to take a look at what it says. Alright, so now I've got to attach my air hose from here to a diffuser inside the tank, so let's take a look at that. Okay, so as for the rest of the stuff I'm using, I've got a check valve, which is very important because the water could actually be siphoned out of the tank by the airline tubing that you're using. So if there's no CO2 running to it or it loses pressure for whatever reason, this will keep water from backflowing into your equipment. This is a CO2 diffuser. This is a fairly cheap one, so I hope it works okay. But got this from China. We'll see how it does. I bought this a long time ago, and I considered getting a better one, and I could. I also considered taking this guy. He's got an air stone inside of him. Yeah, right there. I considered just like using this as a CO2 diffuser. Let me know what you think of that in the comments. There's a bubble counter you saw built onto there, but they say never to use these, or I've heard it, never to use this. I bought this along with the diffuser, and this is sort of a bubble counter that fits. I guess you put it in line with the hose and stuff. But cheap glass under pressure does like horrible things, so this might end up being a steampunk project or something else. The person that I heard this from also said these are a bad idea, you know, but I'll let this one ride and see, because I got this basically or an air stone, so see how that goes. Also, you need a CO2 resistant tubing, and I don't think this is enough, but we'll see. Yeah, I bought this a long time ago. I had no idea. That'll work. Yeah. I got it in black, because usually I put a black background down, so this kind of helps hide it. Alright. I'll start by putting this CO2 resistant hosing. Regular aquarium hose will actually leak CO2. So carefully making sure it's nice and tight on the diffuser. What this will do is it turns the CO2 gas into finer bubbles instead of just bloop bloop. It'll turn them into like a little mist of bubbles, and that will give the CO2 more surface area contact with the water and cause it to absorb really well. Alright, so let's install this thing here. Just install it just right here inside the glass. Did I just break it? I just broke it apart. Plan B. It's got an air stone. It's not perfect, but you know what? I'm just going to start with this. And if this tube leaks CO2, it won't be a problem because it's already inside the aquarium. Now it's time to install the check valve, and it's important. This is actually shaped in the shape of an arrow, but many times they'll have an arrow to indicate the direction of air. So this lets the air pass through, but the water can't go back. So nothing can go this way, only this way. And we're going to install that in a cut piece of hose that runs into the diffuser dragon. And the other side of the Snell safe hose will run we'll run back down to the CO2. Okay, so the tubing has been run from the aquarium down into the back of the cabinet. I'm going to attach it to the bubble counter here. I went ahead and I didn't cut anymore. I'd left it very loose. This goes over that. This goes onto here. Sort of snugly, I guess. And this goes back down and it's screwed into place. Okay, now in the instructions it says to plug this in. This is it's a regular electrical plug, and it goes to this, which is called a solenoid. The solenoid is sort of an on-off switch that allows the air to pass on through. So I think, and you can plug this into a number of things. You can plug them into timers, which is what I'm going to do. My timer has a dual switch, so I'm going to just have this come on when the lights come on. I might plug it into another outlet later and put a separate timer on in case I want it to come on a little bit before the lights, but for now, just for simplicity, I'm just going to plug it in there. Because I really only want this running when the lights are on. For now, while I'm trying it out, very audible click. The next steps, you turn this, you open this all the way by turning it counterclockwise, and then you start to turn this in this way. See, I'm not reading any pressure on this gauge at all, so this is probably broken. Great. But you turn this until you reach the bubble, you start to see the bubbles come out, and then you can adjust the amount of CO2 that's being mixed into your water by counting the bubbles and the rate. Now when this is brand new, all of this is going to have to kind of like pressurize and get, this whole tube will fill up with CO2 eventually, and then it'll start coming out the dragon's mouth. But until it does, and while it's kind of getting settled, I'm just going to do it really, really slow and just take it real slow. Probably a bubble every 2 seconds or something slow. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and put this back in the cabinet because we are done for now. Alright, so we're going to take a look at this CO2 indicator here. And get all the parts out. This is not a sticker. This is like one of those things that attaches to glass. It's like a little film that attaches to glass, and it actually is there to cover the suction cup for this. What we want to do is take all these components out. We want to take this out now. Set this aside here. Alright, it mounts like this. It pops off. Oops, that's not going to come out. If you get it quick, it will come out of carpet. It does come apart. So you take apart the CO2 indicator, you add 1 cc, which is like 1 cc, and it says to reattach it firmly. Okay. Alright, now, if it's done properly, you should be able to rotate this around, and voila! Now we attach it like this inside of the aquarium, and it'll give us an idea of what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and dry off any residue inside from when I did it. Put a little too much in earlier. There we go. Okay, folks, and I think that's where I'm going to end today's show. But I'd like to tell you that we're going to be gone next weekend. We're going to be in Florida, actually filming for The Cog is Dead. We're helping them film their concert movie, and we'll be on location in Florida filming a really great concert. If you live down in Florida, somewhere near, I think it's near Orlando. I'll put the information in the description. But if you happen to be in that area and you want to come out to see a great band that likes to sing about, giant mechanical sea monsters, try to remember to do that. And remember to hit the like button. And there's really only 2 other things to remember. Follow your bliss. You desire to discover new frontiers. It's time to travel. It's time to travel out somewhere. So, go someplace. See you soon.
Am I in the frame?
Yes, you're in the frame.
Hey. Come on. You want me around?
No. All right, so please go away. No, stop it. Stop it, go away.
What if I really, really want to help? I really, really want to
No,
help.
please go away. Please. Turn it off. No, go. Okay, so for this video, we'll be using the Milwaukee CO2 Regulator. Thanks. So, today, we install it.
Can I help? Can I help?